Hey everybody, welcome to the Get Healthy brand webinar. And my name is Dr. Tracy Stroup. I'm the Chief Health and Growth Officer right here at Get Healthy Store. We have a very special webinar. This is brand new to my knowledge as a practitioner with the technology that is behind this product. So I'm very excited to introduce this brand, to introduce Dr. Tore Bengtsson, who is the leading professor in the metabolic world, as well as the mastermind behind the design of Sigrid's SiPore, which we're going to be talking about. Today, our webinar topic is turning fast food into slow food. And I know that may sound a little bit strange, but when we get into this topic, I think you're going to understand that the power of SiPore, the technology in managing blood sugar and modern diets, it's timely. I have to say this is so timely for what we're seeing in the industry. Before we get started, let's go into a few Get Healthy updates. We do have a few events that we're going to be showing up at, so it's going to be very exciting for us to get to see everybody. The Nutritional Frontiers Professional Training event in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is going to be October 18th through the 20th. You can still sign up virtually if you don't want to show up in person, but it's always great to be in person. And then we have PLMI, that is Dr. Jeffrey Bland's event, going to be great. That's in Dana Point, California, October 26th and 27th. So if you can find us there, we would love to see you in person. Also, don't forget about our Get Healthy roundtables that we do every 2 weeks, where we talk about protocols, products, and solutions, as well as business solutions to increase your revenue and help with patient compliancy. The next two that are coming up, metabolic health, October 15th, and business solutions for webinar hosting, October 29th. And of course, we're going to apply everything that we learned today to our metabolic health roundtable. So I'm really excited. Also, don't forget about our blog. This has been quite the hit since we launched it. Get on there. A few highlight articles that I would point out to you. Breakdown of affiliate marketing. I think we just saw another company go affiliate, drop their employees. No time better than right now to get your own branded Get Healthy store, to build your own brand for your patients and clients so they have a safe space and you have continual revenue. So please go read that article. It's a business saver. So let's get started. Professor Tore Bengtsson, would you give us a little bit of background about yourself and the product line? And I'm going to shut off my PowerPoint because I know that you have some great information to share with us. Thank you so much for being here. This is one of the webinars I've been super excited for.
Thank you, Tracy. Do you see my slide there?
We sure do. Looks great.
Yeah, so thank you, Tracy. My name is Tore Bengtsson. I'm a professor in physiology at Stockholm University. I've been working with the mechanism behind pre-diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and obesity for 30 years. I have a research group actually looking into the molecular mechanism behind these diseases. I'm also the co-founder of Sigrid Therapeutics, which is a company who's actually made this breakthrough in this technology, and we're making this supplement. And I'm going to tell you what SiPore technology is and what we can actually do with this technology. So the name of the company is Sigrid. It's actually a Viking female name, which means beautiful victory. So I hope that can kind of go through all this presentation here. So what are we actually doing? So the Sigrid company, we're trying to pioneering medtech solutions to actually empower people to transform their metabolism, leading to better health and well-being. And the SiPore technology, we have a large number of patents around it, which is very good. We are of course publishing in well-renowned journals, and we have collaborations with really good institutes around the world. And I'm also proud to say that was actually picked as one of the first 15 companies. And I think that is a very, very good kind of stamp that we're doing something with it's good, because that is actually recognized as one of the most promising private medtech companies globally. So I'm very proud of that. And I also want to introduce Sana Alajmovic. She's not here today, but she's the CEO and also a co-founder with me with Sigrid. So all of you know that the American diet, and not just the American diet, is increasingly filled with processed food. I mean, that is a big problem. We all know that. It contains fast digested carbs and sugars. And when we eat it, it's broken down very, very fast. And you get that into your bloodstream very, very fast. So foods like white bread, sugary drinks, and fast food actually cause these rapid blood sugar spikes. And you don't want that, because if you get very high blood sugar, you also get a release of insulin. And this kind of vicious circle will come into play, where you get high blood glucose levels, and then they fall very rapidly. So it's a roller coaster of blood sugar because of the food you're eating. And that vicious cycle leads to energy crashes, frequent cravings, and eventually lifestyle diseases, such as type 2 diabetes and obesity. It is a real problem. Sorry. So this is also something that I'm sure you know, if you're listening to this, is that there is a large number of people in America and also in the world that actually is classified as obese. And of course, this leads to a major risk for chronic lifestyle diseases. About 1 in 10 have type 2 diabetes. And that is a huge problem. And even more kind of striking is that 1 in 3 adults actually have pre-diabetes, often but without knowing this. So it is a huge amount of people actually in this problem with pre-diabetes. And this is actually going down into young people also, even children. And I think this is something that we all need to address. We all need to understand, and we all need to fix it in some way. So what are we doing? So, I mean, this is a kind of something that we actually have to tell how we're working. So at Sigrid, we actually turn fast food into slow food. And what I mean by fast food here is, of course, food that is broken down very fast. And normally that is fast food also, that you buy at some hamburger joint, for example. But what I mean here is fast food is that it's broken down very fast, because normally food is processed nowadays, and it's broken down very rapidly. And we are actually turning fast food into slow food, because the technology we're using will actually slow down the digestion. So with our patented SiPore technology, we actually slow down digestion to minimize the negative impact of modern diet. So if you look here, you can actually see that normal diet, you get a very rapid increase in sugar, glucose in the blood. And what we're doing is actually that we're reducing that peak in the blood. And I will explain how we can actually do this. So what we're doing is actually, with a high technology, we're actually turning silicon dioxide molecules into molecules which have pores in them. And I'm trying to kind of will explain this. So it's a groundbreaking technology. It's non-pharmaceutical. It's actually patented silica technology. And this silica technology is actually a powder. So it's a white powder. This white powder we can put into capsules and which you can eat. So this white powder is actually consisted of small molecules. And now I'm going to show you one of these. That's very difficult with the camera here, but you can see that this molecule, this is the molecule in itself. And of course, this is blown up now. It's very, very big. And it has small pores in the molecule. And we are very, very good to actually make this silica molecules and make these pores to the right size. And I would explain why you need the right size. So this molecule here is very, very little. It's in micrometer size. So it's very, very small, and it forms a white powder. Within each of these molecules, there are pores. And these pores are in nanometer scale. So why is this important? Because silicon dioxide is safe. It's actually in many, many foodstuff. And silicon dioxide, you can eat a lot of it, and it's perfectly safe for you. It's not picked up into your bloodstream. It passes through your intestines and goes out the natural way. Our silica is special because it has these pores. And as you see, these pores, when they have the right size to actually pick up enzymes. So what happens in digestion? You eat food, it comes down into your stomach, and then it passes into your intestine. In the intestine, it starts to break down, and it breaks down by enzymes. These enzymes are released by the pancreas. And the major enzymes that are coming out are amylase and lipase. Amylase is an enzyme that breaks down carbohydrates. So it cuts down the long chain carbohydrates to small chain carbohydrates, and in the end, it will form glucose. And the glucose is taken up into the bloodstream. Our particle, when it comes down together with the food, will actually pick up a fraction of the enzymes released from the pancreas. So by diffusion in the intestine, a fraction of these enzymes will go into the particle and stay inside the particle, and thereby it can't cut down the carbohydrates. We're not taking up all the enzymes, we're taking away a fraction, and thereby we're reducing the amount of free enzymes that can digest the carbohydrates and the lipids. And by doing this, we slow down the digestion. And by slowing down digestion, you don't get the high peak of blood glucose levels. You prolong the peak. So the peak will be longer. You will feel fuller for a longer time. You will not get the high levels of glucose. Thereby, you will not get the same amount of insulin release. And thereby you will not feel as hungry, as we say. I mean, both hungry and angry, because when you crash, you will actually feel that. You don't get that if you reduce the digestion. So these pores are very, very delicately made. They are in the perfect size to actually pick up amylase and lipase. And it doesn't pick up other food stuff, for example, because they are much, much bigger and would not fit into the pores. So these are the kind of the key to the technology. So when you eat, and you eat SiPore with it, SiPore is safe. It's made by silicon dioxide. It's safe. It goes through the intestinal system and goes out. It's not picked up by the bloodstream. It takes up these enzymes, a fraction of the enzymes, and thereby reduce the blood spikes and calorie absorption. So again, in the small intestine, the digestion is slowed down. This, of course, then translates to balanced blood sugar levels, lower peaks, and you have a longer blood sugar level. It actually also translates to healthy weight management because you don't get as hungry. And it's a very good metabolic way to actually reduce the digestion. It's minimizes modern diet's impact. So you can actually eat fast food, but it will become slow food. It's non-invasive and it's safe. It actually leads also to sustained weight management, and it will be affordable and accessible. So we actually have evidence that what I'm saying is true. So we have evidence from the lab bench where we can actually measure how much amylase or lipase we take up in these particles. We have evidence from clinical studies. And here I'm showing one clinical studies where we have actually done a starch tolerance test. This is not a glucose tolerance test that most actually are know, but this is a starch tolerance test. And what that is actually that you give starch to a patient or a person, and then you measure the blood glucose levels after the starch. So we used potato starch here. And you can see that if you do potato starch and you add placebo, you get a curve so that you get an increase in blood glucose levels. And then these blood glucose levels goes down and return to basal. This is not a curve that is as high as with a glucose tolerance test, but this is how a starch tolerance test looks like. So you have an increase in blood glucose levels. If you take this potato starch and you take SiPore, you see that there is no increase in the blood glucose levels. You have a steady state instead, which is no increase in blood glucose levels. And this is actually a proof that our technology actually works the way we're saying. We have also done longer-term studies, clinical studies, where we have actually looked at the long-term blood glucose levels, HbA1c, for example. And this was a clinical study we made for 3 months in pre-diabetics. And again, you have to think about this in a pre-diabetic context, because these are the numbers I'm showing you is for pre-diabetics and not type 2 diabetics. So we could see in our first-in-man study and our STAR study that we actually reduced HbA1c levels. So how does these HbA1c levels actually translate into what is known before? We are actually very happy to say that SiPore is actually twice as effective than metformin. And this is from a very big study, the DPP study, where they actually looked at pre-diabetics and they gave this pre-diabetic metformin. And with metformin, you actually get a reduction in blood glucose levels, HbA1c, and they measured after 6 months. Remember, these are actually, if you're not getting a drug, you're actually drifting upwards because time is going. But metformin is working. This is actually on pre-diabetics. And there are other compounds out there, for example, Totem 63, which is a product that also reduces blood glucose levels. And you can see that after 6 months, you get that reduction. We looked for 3 months, and SiPore has actually a bigger effect than both metformin and Totem after 3 months. So we believe we have something here that is very, very valid in that context. So this is where I really wanted to go with this. We wanted to find something that could actually prevent type 2 diabetes and pre-diabetes, and we believe that we have that with this SiPore technology. So is that actually meaningful? Yes. If you use metformin and you get a reduction of 31%, that actually reduces the reduction of type 2 diabetes by 31%. And SiPore is actually better, as you saw, even after just 3 months. So we are twice as fast and better. So SiPore has this proven effect for pre-diabetics. So what do we actually have right now? So we have this supplement. So this supplement, as you see here, we call it glucose stabilizer. It's packed then with these capsules that have this SiPore powder in it. And the recommended intake is 2 capsules twice a day with your biggest meal, lunch and dinner. So it's powered by the SiPore technology. It offers this new innovative solution to stabilize blood sugar and reduce post-meal spikes. So it actually helps your patients feel fuller for longer. It curbs cravings and supports weight management. And our users actually report less energy crashes by slowing digestion, keeping patients energized throughout the day. And actually, I mean, I've of course tested this myself, and it is one of the big things actually is that you feel fuller for longer. That is a rather remarkable effect actually. It's an easy non-systemic supplement that fits seamlessly into any patient's daily routine, helping managing metabolic health, pre-diabetes, and weight issues. So what are the customers saying? The customers' experience with this glucose stabilizers is that many, I mean, it's remarkable. Many actually reports more stable blood sugar levels. They notice fewer post-meal spikes. They observe a reduction in their HbA1c, as you say in America. They experience a reduced urge to snack. They feel fuller for longer, and it actually helps suppress appetite. And a completely novel thing that I didn't see coming, but I understand the physiology behind it, is actually that many actually experience less bloating after meals. So there is a remarkable large number of people who actually say that they don't feel bloated. And I think it depends on not having this, I mean, having a more prolonged digestion is actually better for you in that context. So I'm proud that we've actually been able to come from an idea of making something that is safe, that is not a drug, that can actually impact metabolic health, something that will not taken up into your bloodstream, that is safe, that can actually do something in this area. I'm very proud that we're actually able to produce this SiPore technology, and that it can be used in this context, and that the idea is actually now, I can say my idea is actually now out in the market in that context. So I'm very happy about that. So that's what I wanted to say about that, and I'm happy to take any questions, and I hope I have some answers in a Q&A with that.
Well, we'll gather these questions here. I'll wait on my questions to see if anybody has any right now. And if you guys have questions, you can just put them in the Q&A box or in the chat. That would be great. And while we wait for those questions, so the technology that you developed, all right, I'll ask my first question. How would this compare to what you're seeing on the market right now for metabolic issues? Either supplementation that you're seeing that is out there promoting enhancement of metabolic health, or prescriptions that are being marketed today? Yeah, so we are working on 2 levels here. We have this supplement that we're kind of selling in this context, where we have these capsules. That is a supplement, and it compares with other supplements in that context. It is, as I said, more powerful, what we know of. We're also working with a medical device that is a gel, and with that gel we're actually conducting a very large study in pre-diabetics. So it's over 300 patients. So it's a double-blinded study where we're actually doing right now.
and the top line results will come out in after Christmas. And that is something that is a medical device then in Europe. And that is another way to attack this. And that is formulated in a gel, and then you can actually put in more SiPore in that gel. So that will be taken 3 times a day with a meal, and that will have then hopefully, of course, because it's more SiPore in there, a bigger effect in that context. So we believe that we have something that works very well out in the market. You should not compare this with a drug. I mean, you shouldn't compare it with a GLP, of course, because that is a completely different thing. You're actually stopping eating because you depress your appetite in that context. And it's a medicine that you need prescription and so on. This you can actually buy over the counter. So it depends on what you want to kind of compare with. No, it's not a new GLP. And I don't think anyone should kind of think about it like that. This is something that you can take every day, will not give you these side effects that GLPs are doing, will be gentle to your body, will pass through your body, and you will have positive effects. And I just want to kind of emphasize one thing. I've been working with this kind of issues, obesity and type 2 diabetes and pre-diabetes for my whole life. And the biggest problem actually is that people think that they should have immediate effects. If you have immediate effects, then you usually bounce back very quickly. And this we're seeing with the GLPs now, that many are taking them for a while. After 1 or 2 years, most people are actually off them, and you're climbing up back to your original weight. I think you need something that is actually more gentle, takes maybe a little bit longer time, but would actually be sustainable in the long run. That's my view of it.
And you've had years of research on this. How long on average does someone stay on this supplement? Is this something they can take forever, or is it for a period of time?
Of course, we don't know that. We haven't tested that yet. We have just come out with this as a product, so we don't know. I think we have not have any kind of indications that people are stopping due to kind of side effects in that context. I mean, I don't think you can stay on this forever. You can actually look at how silicon dioxide is actually put in food, or molecules, because our molecules are special with these pores. But if you go to normal silicon dioxide, it's used as a flowing agent in a number of food stuff, even in baby food stuff. So it's considered safe in that context, and that you can go on for forever to eat. Like it's in flowing agent in a number of food stuff, which you eat for many years, of course. So we don't believe that this is something that you couldn't eat for a very long time. That's the idea, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. And then do you find that there's any nutrient depletion that it creates, since it kind of encapsulates or entraps these molecules?
Very good question. So of course, that was one of the biggest concerns, that if this molecule, I mean, they have these pores, can anything go in and then you trap stuff that is important? The short answer is no. There is not doing it, and I will try to explain why. Because these pores are tailored for these enzymes. So if you make the pores too small, then no enzymes will go in. If you make them too big, the enzymes will disappear. So it's tailored for these specific enzymes. And in the intestine, when you release your pancreatic juices, the highest amount of protein there is amylase and lipase. So you pick up these. And of course, this is what we have shown on the lab bench and so on, but we have actually tested if it's safe also in 3 clinical studies, right? So in this, we have actually looked at if this actually takes some vitamins or anything like that, and we have no indication that is a problem. So I don't think that is anything that you would worry about. Actually, the pores are so well tailored. So that's the kind of the key to the whole concept here.
Yeah, it's amazing. When I first saw the product, the very first question I asked when I got on a brand call was,
Yeah.
how is this different from Olestra of the 80s, right? Do you remember that horrible
Yeah.
chemical?
Yeah.
So, and they were like very different,
Yeah.
where that really did cause a lot of depletion of nutrients and,
Yeah.
you know, soluble fats. This seems to work with your body,
Yeah.
for the right amount of amylase and lipase for the system to keep in order to extend that period of time when, you know, the body's digesting. And, you know, obviously we have a ton of digestive issues, which, you know, a lot of people are in the GLP-1 realm, but I don't really think a lot of people understand that GLP-1s are one incretin of the digestive system that are released from the L cells. So we're really hyper focused on insulin when we should be more focused on digestion and inflammation and the creation of good metabolic processes, which it sounds like this product, when you take it, actually slows the digestive system down enough to kind of create its own metabolic processes. Am I correct in kind of saying
Oh,
that?
I love what you're saying. Actually, I'm going to steal what you're saying.
Okay, that's fine.
No, but I mean, this is fantastic. Yes, this is actually the idea from the beginning. And the GLPs, I'm working with the GLPs also. So I actually founded another company, which is called Atrogi, that is a company that's actually making a new type 2 diabetes drug. So I'm fully aware of the GLPs and what they're doing and so on. So the concept here is that it's like an atomic bomb in your system. Yes, it works. No one can say that the GLPs doesn't work, but it causes a lot of things that people are not really aware of. And I'm not going to go through all of it, but I mean, everyone knows that you can get muscle loss and so on, but and you can get digestive problems, serious digestive problems. What I wanted to do from the beginning here was something that was not a drug, that exactly as you're saying, would be gentle to the system to actually slow down the digestion back to normal digestion. That is what we were trying to do. We want to go back to normal digestion, and normal digestion takes a little bit longer than just cut it down and in 15 minutes and going up. So that is what we're trying to do. So from the beginning, I actually called this a super fiber, but you can't really call it a fiber because a fiber has a specific meaning to people, but it is a super fiber in that context, that it's actually going down. It picks up this enzyme to some extent. It reduces the digestion. We're not picking every enzyme up because that would be bad also. So we're trying to reduce it to actually get exactly what you're saying, the normal digestion back. And that, it looks like it works also in the way of this with this bloating, because I mean, other things in the digestive system have their time to actually do their job also, because I mean, as you know, there are the biome of the bacteria is there and so on, and we have indications that it actually helps there also, but that is enough for another discussion.
Yeah. Oh, I'll keep drilling down. This is my favorite part of these webinars. I'm like, tell me all the things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so revolutionary, absolutely, when it comes to it. And, you know, unfortunately, what people don't realize about GLP-1s is if you're not doing all the foundational things first, optimizing your digestion, enhancing L cells, enhancing incretin production, you have to overdose the GLP to get the results. And that's going to lead to the gastroparesis. That's going to lead to all the side effects that we're seeing.
Yeah.
Utilizing something like this with your clients and patients and optimizing the digestive process so the body has time to create the GLPs, right? The GIPs, the
Exactly.
DPP4, the CKK, all the things, all the incretins, as well as things like butyrate, which is more of a postbiotic, which is going to help with what you're saying, like bloating. And so it's just really going to the core. So I think this is actually going to be one of the bigger product launches in the States. So we're really fortunate to have you here, to have it on Get Healthy, which our practitioners are actually getting the first taste of this first. So I don't think they realize how special this is. So I want everyone here listening to know how special this is. So I'm really excited. So thank you for being here. This was great. And I hope you come back for our podcast and be a guest on our podcast, because I'd love to explore some, some really deep topics that I'm
Yeah.
seeing. Like, how does it
Uh,
pertain to diabetics type 1 versus type 2, which is a really different metabolic action of high glucose versus low insulin, and utilizing a product like this. So I hope you'll come back for some additional, condition specific questions and uses of SiPore, because I think that's what our doctors really want. They want to know who, when, and why do we apply it. Very important for practitioner success.
Tracy,
Mhm.
thank you so much. It was actually your insights here are very, very spot on, more than you think.
So we're the ones getting yelled at by clients when something doesn't work, right? So I have to ask all the questions. If I get you on camera, I'm going to ask you all the things. So no, but I was really excited to see this product. I had to slow down and really read about it and learn about it. And I went through the papers and the website. So incredible. I am going to bring this up on the roundtable. And if there's any additional information you want to send me pertaining to that, or if we can chat before, I'm happy to relay it to our people. So I hope everybody tunes in and shares this webinar with somebody, especially those that are utilizing GLP-1s right now, to know that there's alternatives, that we can start at the core, that we can start with a safer approach as practitioners, because I do believe we're going to need an exit strategy from the Ozempic craze. No downing for people that use it. I know metabolically they are challenged. That is a true statement. I mean, what is it? I think in the United States, only 6% of our population is metabolically healthy.
Yeah, I know it's
Percent.
crazy. It's
So
crazy.
guys, 94% of your clients should be in this. I mean, this should be a no-brainer sale for everybody watching right here. So thank you, Professor, for being here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Incredible product. Make sure you add it to your Get Healthy store. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to Sigrid directly to get your wholesale account with them, or any questions that you might have for the professor. I'm sure they'd be happy to answer. And look for more education on this product, because I'm not done with this one yet. We're gonna see this one coming up over the next couple months as we enter sugar season in the United States from October to December, where we just live on sugar. So no better time to get your clients on this product today. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time.
Excellent. Thank you so much.